Right. Surprised it's come on. So many technical problems. Won't go into that. Straight on to Caitlin Johnstone. Fucking genius. I just mean this and the social conscience, and I mean she's got the social conscience, but she's got the intellect that goes with it. But more than that, more than all of that, she gets it spot on. It's like she's, you know what I mean? Just when someone's like, being slow, typical. On this and said, we do have some technical problems now. Or which comes on first? Whether Caitlin's article. I'll just say what I know the tweet says. I'm stuck in the sense that says Starmer gets into power in Britain. What was I thinking? I think that'll happen. I think the Tories are going to split as well, and we're going to end up with more chaos. But you see, eventually we need on the left, right, to unite with all people. Now you think, well, you're not uniting with the right, for example, are you? You're not uniting with the right of Labour, Starmer. You're not uniting with the Liberal Democrats or the Tories. Now you see, one of the key reasons, this is the key word of this talk, put anywhere, is merit. They believe in merit, right? But however, once you do a study and you get people, and in this study you show people what the distribution of wealth and income is like in Britain, they are aghast. They think that is not a meritocracy whatsoever. It's just giving bags of gold to the top and nothing to millions who are hard-working, poor, who need things like in-work benefits to pay the bills. Hard-working, there are millions of people trying to push relative equality, and obviously is full merit, because those who stand up for this merit thing on the right are mistaken to believe that they're delivering it. They're not delivering that at all. And they're the people we need to show, like two things, the conclusion of this, what to do. First of all, show them, one, they're brainwashed by the propaganda matrix to a relative extent. Yeah, they believe in merit, but they don't understand how far off merit they are by sucking up to the system. They should just get completely off it, because it is a trillion miles away from delivering what they want on merit. I just believed in merit and not equality is what I believe in, relative equality. So, for example, is really, really shit. But the propaganda matrix that you do believe Tories. This is I just needed to charge up and that was an extreme for some reason. I think no look, am I? No look whatsoever. The point is anyway that by uniting the matrix, that's all. So if they can get over the propaganda matrix, they'll see that it's like wanting rain and praising it when there's dry. Sorry about this video because technology is letting me down. But yeah, I am getting the point across though of inequality. And here, finally, as Caitlin's article comes up, so my computer isn't totally knackered, it's just relatively knackered. Now things will get clearer. Well, that was clear in the end. But now this article's up here. As long as it doesn't just come off the screen, we'll get going. Caitlin Johnston's article, it's titled Rabbit Holes and Men Behind Curtains, 12th of September 2023. She writes, you dive down rabbit hole after rabbit hole, searching for the man behind the curtain. We've seen enough to be convinced that everything you've been taught about the world is false. And now it's just a matter of finding out who's really responsible for making such a mess of things. I'm just wondering if this will play. I'm going to try and see if this article will be read by Tim Foley, so you can hear what Caitlin's put on there. So he speaks. You can hear him speaking. I just thought it would. Anyway, I'll start again. You drive down rabbit hole after rabbit hole, searching for the man behind the curtain. You've seen enough to be convinced that everything you've been taught about the world is false, and now it's just a matter of finding out who's really responsible for making such a mess of things. And for a while, your search seems fruitful. You discover that you don't really live in a democracy like you were taught, where the public influences government behaviour using their votes, or even in a separate sovereign nation like you learned in school. You discover that your country is part of a globe-spanning power structure which effectively functions as an empire. And you discover that this empire has drivers who aren't beholden to the electorate in any meaningful way, acting not to advance the interests of the public, but to advance the agenda of planetary domination. So, who are the drivers of the empire? You dive down more rabbit holes. You discover secretive government agencies with long-time operatives who don't leave with the outgoing official elected government, but stay on, helping to keep the gears of the empire turning regardless of who voters elect to be the face on the operation. You discover a revolving door system in which the same empire managers are rotated in and out of positions in the official elected government, working in think tanks and military industrial complex advisory boards and mass media punditry when their party is out of office, and rotating back in when their turn comes back around. You discover plutocrats who use their vast wealth to influence government policy via campaign donations, influential think tanks, mass media control, and corporate lobbying, who often operate with and profit from a tremendous amount of overlap with government agencies. You discover organisations and institutions in which the wealthy and powerful congregate and coordinate to advance their agendas, often with a very high degree of secrecy. But in all this rabbit holing and discovering, you still don't find any man behind the curtain. You come to see that any of the people you've been looking at could die tomorrow, and the imperial machine would trudge on uninterrupted. Excellent point. There could be a great violent revolution, and these people could be guillotined by the thousands. And unless drastic changes were made to the systems which gave rise to them, someone else would just step in to fill their shoes. Genius. So you start researching the systems. You start researching economic systems, financial systems, how resources are distributed, how money is allocated, how labour is exploited, how wealth is extracted. You come to see how our civilization has been turned into a giant wealth-generating machine for a class of wealthy exploiters using propaganda, property laws, artificial sacrity, enclosure of the commons, and theft from indigenous populations, all wound around this made-up concept of money, which translates directly into political power with our current systems. Because the people who are most adept at obtaining massive amounts of wealth, power, are those who are sufficiently lacking in empathy to do whatever it takes to obtain it, we naturally find ourselves ruled by sociopaths, and we always will until those systems. You dig even further, even deeper, you discover that you haven't just been fed false information about how governments and nations work, you've been fed false information about even your most basic assumptions about reality. You discover in your own experience that there is no such thing as a separate self, that what we refer to linguistically as I and me are psychological delusions which underpin most of the suffering and dysfunctionality of the human species. In reality, humans are inseparable from the biosphere from whence they emerged, which is in turn inseparable from the universe from whence it emerged, which is in turn inseparable from the Big Bang, or whatever it was, from whence it emerged. Everything is one, and the self is a lie. And you realise that this is true of all the oligarchs and empire managers you've been staring at as well. They're not separate entities acting with agency in the world. They're clusters of conditioning and trauma which they inherited from their ancestors, which was passed down through their evolutionary heritage from the chaos and confusion inherent in existence as small pre-animals who walked the earth millions of years ago. They're just swirling eddies in a sea of ineffable energy like anyone else, sleepwalking through life, being whipped around by unconscious forces within themselves that they do not understand. And you realise then that there's no man behind the curtain, and there never was. You ripped aside curtain after curtain, hoping to find the man, and all you found was a man-shaped hole in the universe. And you're not even mad. In fact, you find it hilarious. You laugh and you laugh at the silliness of it all. You laugh at how seriously we're all taking this game of separateness and enmity, and how seriously you've been taking it just moments before. You laugh at how ultimately innocent we all are, even the worst among us. You laugh at our cuteness. You laugh at this play of forms, and the universe laughs back. A laughing Buddha laughing at universe made of laughing Buddhas. And you see as you wipe the tears from your face that everything is unfolding as it must. The universe is becoming more and more capable of perceiving itself, first with life, then with humans, then with the steady advancements in science and technology and psychology and awakening. And there's no reason to assume this ongoing explosion of perception will stop. We're going to figure things out eventually. Consciousness keeps expanding. The light keeps getting brighter. The truth can only hide for so long. Yes, at work. And that's the end of the video.